Hey, what's happening my guys and girls? My name is Maikya and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the possibility of what the starters evolutions could be. This theory is quite interesting. It relates to the names, the origins, and kind of we can compare to Gen 6 and see kind of the original kind of reasons why these Pokemon exist and why their names are the way they are. So if you guys are hyped, please leave a like down below and let's just get straight into the video. Okay guys, so I was scouring Reddit the other day to find something to cover and I found it. So this is our theory for today. So let's just talk about it for a second before we get into the theory. So basically we have the three starters. We have Scorbunny, Sobble and Grookey, and each of these are obviously one type. So we've got Scorbunny is a fire type and Sobble's the water type and Grookey is the region's grass type. Now, the interesting thing with most Pokemon is you can kind of relate their names to different things, okay? So, for example, let me just think. So, we've got Tepig. Tepig is related to Tepid, which means warm. Or you've got Pig, which is obviously what it is. Another example of this is Bulbasaur. So, he's a bulb, which is like a plant, a bulb of a plant. Saur is dinosaur, so it kind of originates from the lizard family, that sort of thing, which is what he is. So obviously we can break this down again with the other Pokemon in Generation 8. So, for example, Scorbunny, like this theory suggests, is Score and Bunny. Scorch, obviously, which means flames, fire, hot, and bunny, so he's a fire bunny. But there's more to this kind of thing. There's more to this kind of theory than we haven't seen yet and we're going to discuss today. So let's just get straight into it and we'll kind of break it down and then I'll talk a bit more after about it. So let's just go into it. So here it says, this has got a lot of traction, 16.2k upvotes. So, a unique theory on Groovy's evolution theme. So obviously the starters were revealed yesterday. So this was obviously posted on the 27th of February, sorry. And it's now like the 6th of March, so I'm a bit late to it. But hey, it's something. People are already in love with them, forming gangs around them, obviously. The designs this time are pretty solid and remind me a lot of Gen 6 Starter Bash. When you think about it, yeah. So you've got Fennekin, which is the fire fox, and then you've obviously got Scorbunny, which is like a bunny, which is very close to a fox, and that's a fire bunny. Then you've obviously got Chespin, which is like, I don't really know what Chespin is, I think it's like a squirrel or something, I don't know. But it's very similar to Monkey, that sort of thing. And then obviously you've got Froakie, which is a frog, which is similar to the aquatic animal, which Sobble is based off. So it's very close-knit. Anyway, so let's get into it. Now remember in Gen 6, the last time a region was based on Europe. We got 3 starter evolutions that were based on fantasy characters from that region. Delphox a witch, Chestnut a knight, and Greninja is a rogue/ninja. That's quite interesting. I haven't really thought about that, to be honest with you. So they're basically just saying there's a lot of mythology or a lot of like legends and lore and folklore, and it suggests that from that region, from Kalos, which is based on Paris, there's a lot of fantasy things, fairy tales, as you can tell from like the region itself with the like fairy gym. There's a lot of fairy tales and fantasy and mythology there. So they're just saying there's witches, knights, and rogues. And basically, Galar is based on Great Britain, so we know that anyway. We've already broken that down and looked at that. And it's got a Hobbit-style starting village, with a very industrial revolution-looking city and a soccer/football stadium briefly at the end of this trailer. So we obviously broke that down. We know exactly that it's based on Great Britain. We've broken down like the, every single element of that trailer, so we know already. And this person said, so I think the starter evolutions will incorporate elements of British culture in a sort of group theme, much like Generation 6. Now, I totally agree with that. I totally think that's a possibility. I don't see why it shouldn't be. I think it's a really good idea that they group it all together. They tend to do it by theme. So, for example, Generation 1 was like genetics and engineering, that sort of thing. And Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle are all like genetically engineered animals. So it's very, very interesting to, see that the starters carry some sort of theme along with them. They're all very much related to their types. So, for example, you've got Chikorita. Very, it's a grassy name. It's all to do with that sort of thing. Cyndaquil, that sort of thing. He's based on a kind of, porcupine, so he's got quills. But anyway, and Cinder, so cinders. It's all related anyway. So here it says, Score Bunny will be very obviously turned into a soccer-themed Pokemon, so football-themed Pokemon. It kicks, it's fast, Score is in the name. So like I was saying before, there's Scorch and there's Bunny. But you could also say that it's Score as in score a goal. So obviously English football, we have goals and you score goals. And to be fair, when you look at Score Bunny's actual like artwork, he looks like a footballer. He's kind of kicking his leg up, so you can kind of see it. And he's quite quick, like that person said. So that'll be quite an interesting evolution. I don't know what it looked like, but it'd be interesting. Here it says, Sobble as a water lizard almost has to turn some sort of water or sea monster, or Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. It's too easy. Now, I disagree with this. The reason why I disagree with this is because the Nessie, Loch Ness monster, is Scottish, and it's also not anything to do with British culture. It's nothing really to do with our actual culture. It's more like a historical thing. So what I think Sobble will be, I think Sobble will be something along the lines of like a theatre sort of thing, like a, I don't know how to explain it, but it'd be like a theatre and like a mime or something, or, you know, something like that, like a, you know, I don't really know, something like related along those lines, because I don't think that the Loch Ness monster kind of lines up with the others, but that's just my theory. This is, you know, obviously theirs. And it says, what about Grookey? Something was off to them about his name. Pokemon names are obviously very portmanteau of other two words. The very portmanteau of two words put together. So, you know, it's obvious, like I said before, Cyndaquil, blah, 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 blah. And basically, it describes the Pokemon. So, Key is from monkey and Grew. It sounds like grass, but it's not. It's Grew as in ooh, which is groove, this person's saying, and I agree, to be honest. It definitely sounds that way. And what is the very first thing we see Grookey do in the debut video? He's hitting a stick on a rock. Guys, he's drumming. He's a groove monkey and he keeps his drumstick in his hair. So you can see that he almost is going to turn into like this. He might get two sticks out and have like bongo drums, or he might just have like drumsticks that he's holding, or, you know, we don't know yet. He could be like playing, you know, like the what do we call it, the cymbal monkeys. There's those, and then there's obviously the actual monkeys that like hold the drum on them and like tap on the side. It's kind of an old British toy that was a thing, so I could see how that could link. Definitely, that makes sense in some ways. And here it says they strongly believe that Grookey will be rock and roll themed musical Pokemon. Totally, because British culture is very much known for rock and roll back in the, you know, 60s, 70s, that sort of time, you know, just before then. Very much rock and roll, very much kind of interesting, you know, eras of British culture. So that's an interesting thought to keep an eye on. And it says here that he's going to use a drumstick or a bongo. Definitely, for sure. And Britain's history of rock and punk cannot be overstated. Definitely, like, not even going to lie, like, our history of rock and punk is, like, massive. It's huge. And the British invasion changed music forever. It makes more sense. It's way too good to not be real. And then this person said, in fact, I would not be surprised if a Grookey evolution referenced the name of an extremely famous British drummer, or something like, oh, I don't know, a Ringo Tan. So I believe that's Ringo Starr from the Beatles, if I'm correct. And I could totally see that. I don't think they'd use that name, or they'd use a name of a popular drummer, but I definitely think that they'd probably base it on someone like that. I could kind of see, like, I'm almost thinking like an Ambipom type of Pokemon, but not Ambipom, because I know, like that kind of cropped haircut, the little sprout on the top, obviously, because he's a grass type. And I can see him having like brown arms, like these big fists and these little like drumsticks, and this big thing wrapped around his neck, like this big drum here, and he's like dancing along and tapping one side. I could see that being a thing. I could see him like doing that. Definitely a thing. So I think that's all I have time for today, guys, with this theory. I think that's all that's really needed to be covered. So sorry if it's a short one, but that's all I can really say about this. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this and whether you think this is true, not, you know, fake, real, whether it's going to be an actual possibility or not. And yeah, so I'd love to hear what you have to say. Be sure to leave a like down below. Your support is greatly appreciated every single day. It means the world to me. Keeps me going every single day with a daily upload or two. So that's the thing. And then obviously subscribe for more videos like this. And I will see you guys in another video.